Hello, friends. We are finally getting rain. I cannot tell you how dry it had gotten here. I asked my husband to help me with the pathways here. Yesterday he got out with the weed whacker and then the weed flamer and cleared the outside path for me all the way around this square spiral garden. It rained, a really nice gentle rain this morning, which was very much needed. So I'm thinking forward to the autumn, and I'm seeing this guy here. I don't think this is news. I think I've talked about this before. This is going to have to come out because it's at a bad angle. It's rubbing here, and these two seem to be at better angles. Well, this one is going to have to come out too, but I'm starting to think about how I'm going to prune my trees. We've got a double lead here as well. So, gonna be some changes coming to these plants. You can see in the wee pond, I have not filled it at all. It's gotten a little bit of rain today, but you can see how far down the water had gone. It's not even that big of a thing, not even that big of a container. But it had nearly emptied. There's nothing living in it that I take care of, so I had not refilled it at all. The mugwort, I've been clipping it back, and you can see it's barely even above the ground right now. It just like shrank. It was, it was up to here before, and it's come down. It's laid down on the ground in order to deal with how dry it had been. So it was up like this, and it's just laid down in order to protect itself from the heat and the dry. Yeah, see, I'm gonna need to trim this guy as well. This mulberry. Definitely looking happier now that the rain has come. Some of these branches had lost their leaves. I don't know if they'll grow back. I hope not, because we are in the middle of September now. Now, I've never grown mulberry. I've never lived in a place where there was mulberry before, so I don't know what shape it needs to be, so I'm going to need to research that. Here's the hazelnuts. I also need to look at when they should be harvested. My concern now is, the number of squirrels we have in the area. Once they discover that the hazelnuts are here, I might not ever get another hazelnut. There's the baby hazelnut. This one's got catkins on it. I don't think this is the time of year to grow catkins. So I have not weeded at all, and that's why there's so much grass here. I did not want to weed while it was terribly dry. The cosmos does not mind the dry temperatures. It has thrived. Now, I say thrived. It has it's been doing all right. I have not watered it at all, but I know in years past, this is about 4 feet tall, 5 feet tall right now. So this is about chest height to me. In the past years, when it's grown, it's been 10 feet tall, 8-10 feet tall. Now I have been watering my watermelon, and I've got one little tiny watermelon that is now split. Well, great. Blast. I've been watering it, and I put down some ash, and I covered the base with weeds and stuff like that, and I guess that just wasn't enough. Where's the base of it? Right there. Just wasn't enough to get it to bloom and produce more fruit. Nothing going on out here except weeds and another hazelnut. This one has not yet recovered from the dry. You can see it's still wilting. And it also has catkins, still wilted from how dry it's been. It rained for about 2 hours this morning, very, very gently, very gentle rain. Now out here, let's see, yeah, here it is. I transplanted milkweed from the side of the road, and the transplant died back to the ground, which, you know, that's probably was a sensible thing for it to do. And then it came back from the roots, and I am delighted. So I will have a milkweed patch here. Those are the princess tree that I've cut down from over there. I put them here to try to let the leaves protect the ground some. Banana tree that has only barely held on this year. There's a canna also that's just barely held on. Here's some ragweed. Oh, I mean, not. Here is goldenrod with a ladybug. I can't believe I said that. I am the queen of teaching people that this is goldenrod and not ragweed. This whole area has turned to goldenrod. Okay, I like that. I like that. The outside edge of my garden, I want to be a little bit wild. For pollinators, largely. And oh, look up there. Look at that goldenrod. It's gorgeous. Maybe not quite this wild though. I need to have a pathway here, which I have not maintained. I have occasionally watered my asparagus as well, so it's doing better than some of the rest of the garden. I have not watered it regularly though. Let's go and look at what I have watered regularly, which is the loofa and the greens over here. This is the pathway that we did not weed whack. So here's my poke plant. He's very far behind schedule because I harvested him 2 or 3 times back in the spring. So usually at this point he's like huge up here. And most of the other poke in the area have not only already bloomed, but they've already gone to fruit. So I have actually harvested poke from wild sources this year. I use it medicinally. I used poke berries as a anti-inflammatory for rheumatism, arthritis. This is not recommended by doctors. This crap is so pervasive. And we've got some Bermuda grass. It's got to come out. So this is the area that I've been watering pretty regularly. These guys, this is a loofa. It's late in the season, obviously. But I'm really proud of how it's doing now. And the onions. And then I've got my inky threw babies around last year. And I've been harvesting them as well recently. Just taking the tops off and every couple weeks and eating a mess of greens. It's been really nice. When I've tried to grow greens, they've seldom done very well because we live in a hot climate. You know, we're here in Tennessee. It's hot here. But I've also been watering these mustard greens, and now that the weather's starting to get a little bit cooler, sorry, I've started to weed. When I get in the garden, that's what I start doing. Now that it's starting to get a little bit cooler, they're beginning to grow. So that makes me happy. And I just accidentally pulled up one of my... And just put him back in the ground. Maybe he'll grow again. So yeah, there's 2 of my recent compost pits. I've got another batch of compost needs to go in the ground. There's strawberries under there, bless their hearts. Mist flower is doing beautifully. It's got a lot of the goldenrod bugs on it. I don't know if they're harmful, I hope not. Yeah, the mist flower. Look at that, mist flowers everywhere. And we might, oh look, we might actually get Maximilian sunflowers. There's the oregano and rosemary. I've made a lot more use of oregano recently. And then here's the other thing I've been watering, these greens here, which I need to weed around, obviously. So, oh, you little monsters, eating my greens. That's mine. So I've been chomping on these guys a little bit, adding them to the poke, mess, salette, salé. I don't know. I think it might be French. It is different from salad. Isn't that funny? They almost sound exactly the same, but it's a mess of greens just that you've cooked. So that's been something new I've learned, is that word. Yeah, let's see, there's some more of those greens that I've been eating. And this pain in the butt. Yeah, obviously, as I said before, I have not been weeding. Over here, this is the invasive Asiatic daylily. You can see it's very pretty. It's very pretty. It's helpful when you don't want to when you have an area that you would like something pretty to grow that's easy to take out. I've used it in a lot of areas in the garden because it does feed pollinators. It is pretty. It also holds a lot of moisture. Right now, the leaves are small. This is like retrenched, careful, cautious, dry weather. But normally when you hold it or squeeze it, it's just lush. And if you get down near the ground, it just holds a tremendous amount of moisture. So it's been very good for the dry seasons here. All right, so a view of the garden from where I'm standing. On this lovely rainy day, we finally got rain. And here's my glorious, glorious goldenrod. I love it so much. All right, be well, y'all.